Welcome everybody. Today I'd like to educate you all as part of our Perks Hotels teams and Enhanced Life Coaching, the information about the rescue pattern and why is that destructive? Because as long as we keep rescuing our teams, then our business won't grow to its full potential. And we do need to ask ourselves, what is it that we're not facing? Because as long as we're rescuing, we'll always attract people who need to be rescued. So I know that it's a universal problem and it is everywhere, but it does tend to slow businesses down and complicates relationships. So I started my NLP journey a couple of years ago in Sydney, and I really enjoyed learning about the life hacks, which I really love sharing with you. So I'll start the presentation now. I'm just going to start sharing this. Great. Okay, so what is the rescue pattern? So let's talk about leadership. So leadership, as we used to know it, and the old model of leadership is that the leaders are only on the top. Now, business needs more leaders at every level. And every time we make an excuse, that is when we play small. So be conscious of your excuses. Your daily performance always shows us your deepest beliefs. And people watch your behaviour even when you don't think that they are. The antidote for stress is gratitude. And if you're not scared often, then you're not growing enough. When people start really pissing you off, then what is happening is you are dropping your resilience and stopping doing your self-care. So why is a rescue pattern destructive? So as long as we keep rescuing our team, then the business won't grow to its full potential. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that we are not facing? As long as we are rescuing, we will keep hiring people that will always need to be rescued. And the death of a great business and company is to reward comfort. So people either deselect themselves or they step up and get excited. So what is the cultural drive? So it's the expectations that you have of others. That is the standards you have of yourself. And we need to ask ourselves the question, what do we care about? What do we expect of others? What are our standards? Where do we draw the line? And where do we not draw the line? Can you show me how? When we hear, yeah, but, or no, that is not good for the team. This shuts down and stops innovation. And when your team members ask you how, we recommend you say to them, so you're asking me to leave my job, find the answer for you and do your job and also pay you? So you will find that they only ask that question once. And if we do it for them, then they will never have got the learnings or the satisfaction of completing a job on their own. So there will be no new neural pathways created if they never saw the job through to the end. And if we keep buying into this, then it is us who has the problem. So for the team members who are a little more challenged, we suggest you say, I really appreciate you asking me how, but I've been thinking a lot about your development and moving forward in this company. I think you're ready to work that out. What do you reckon? So the 4 R's. So we have reliance. So these people have an over-reliance of what's around them to determine what they are capable of. There's a high belief or need to believe in an authority. They have an immature attitude about what's right and wrong. They're very judgmental and they take sides way too easily. And for these people, it's a good idea to let them go with the possibility to re-employ them once they have grown up. It takes about 5 years. So send them to the opposition and then hire them back when they have actually grown up. This person is not ready for responsibility of what comes at the higher levels. So they might say things like, well, nobody told me that, or you didn't tell me that I had to do that, or nobody told me that was my responsibility, or they might even say that's not my job. They need a lot of praise, and these people drain and suck the life out of a business. They make their managers question themselves if they're being too harsh, and these people don't want to know about growth. They want to know how everybody can sink to their level. And once this person finally realises that all their problems is them, then they will start to reject authority. Then they either will become a functional or dysfunctional rebellion. The next one is results, and they're focusing on all about us. So these people have a higher level of burnout. They can be very impatient. A results person will stick around as long as there's stuff going on. They are the bravest person in the company, and when there is a problem, they will solve it without any fanfare. These are the people who anticipate problems and not just solving them. These are the people who offer the results, whereas with others, you have to ask for results. They can appear to be quite hard to the other levels below them, and this is the first level that they are succeeding, not for the sake of succeeding. And these are the people who get there ugly and not always gracefully. The next one is the realisation. It's about the oneness. So these people get there gracefully. These people include everybody in the business growth. They're very cohesive. They are all about oneness. They have a long-term vision with short-term outcomes. They're transparent culture. They have a distinct lack of fanfare. They're very constructive. They're blunt without offence, and they have a lot of clarity. The next is we have the rebel. This is the functional rebel. So the functional rebel is capable of thinking. They are starting to wake up, and they are tired of the status quo. When they start questioning, they may be a great junior, and then as they work further, they will get higher in the business. They know working should be different, but they don't know that it is possible. They have no idea how hard it is to work. They love the idea of new and innovation, but they don't know yet that it has to be translated to dollars. It takes about 5 years for them to grow up, and then they will bring lots of passion and enthusiasm. The more functional rebels on the team, the less money a business makes, as they don't understand that action has to be translated to money. They don't make the connection yet. We need to be patient with these people, and a couple of these in a business is okay. The mum and dad have paid all their bills when they went to university, so they have no correlation on money. The Gen Y is a functional rebel, and many of these people will deselect themselves as they can't take the pressure. They will say things like, that job's not for me, or we're moving house, or moving back to my parents' house. Then we have the dysfunctional rebel. The dysfunctional rebels reject authority, but they don't really know why. They don't care about anything other than anger, contempt, and hostility, which means that we all walk on eggshells. They rebel anything that looks like authority. They do all the bitching behind people's back. They are the poison pills, and they will say things like, I didn't know, or you didn't tell me, or I'm just trying to help. Maybe they might say, I just thought that's what you said. We feel like we almost have to give in to them and walk around them. They are your Achilles heel, and they will use it against you. There's nothing you can say to change a dysfunctional rebel. They make up their own mind long before any serious conversation ever took place. So you need to manage these people out. You can't fire them because they need to deselect themselves. So suggest to them that they seem to be struggling with some aspect of their role, and then they will argue. And once they become argumentative, then you can say to them, I think you've made your point. Also, a spouse who is a dysfunctional rebel will say things like, they can't ask you to do things like that, or they can't expect you to do all of that, or you're working late again. Are you getting overtime for this? It's not every spouse, but they are out there. So being a leader, one of the roles as team leaders is to find out who pays, who plays, who stays, and who upgrades. This is a great question to ask ourselves regularly, monthly. So I'd like to thank you very, very much for listening to my presentation today. I really enjoyed creating it for you. And if you're interested in any more presentations and information that I share, just follow me on platforms on YouTube, LinkedIn, and also Facebook. Thanks very much.